This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Hi, my name's John Cordy. This is Eva. This is Fenton's sister. She's being very needy at the moment. Not exactly sure why, but she's in the room right now as we film this. So I wanted to do a video today on sort of my year, the gear that I bought this year that impressed me, or that may have been sent to me because one of those is an exception. Now, I think last time I talked about this, I kind of couldn't really think of anything pedal-wise but now that I think about it, it's been Boss for me, the pedals this year that have been most impressive, because I think for a lot of us, there's a bit of fatigue around the idea of buying super expensive pedals, particularly drive pedals probably, as we're all kind of obsessed with them. And the Boss BD2 and the Boss SD1 and even the Boss DS1 Wazza that Boss sent me, they all stood out to me as being really kind of great sounding pedals that are not expensive. At the time that I did the Boss SD1 demo, I was really, I don't know, just impressed by the tones that you can get from that thing. And at the time, I don't think anyone had particularly cloned it, but Brian Wampler just brought out a pedal which has an SD1 circuit in there, which I thought was interesting, and it's his affordable pedal. It's obviously still sort of twice the price of a second-hand Boss SD1, maybe even 3 times. So I think the Boss SD1 might be a pedal to check out, maybe a stocking stuffer, sounds a bit, or a Boss blues driver. I've also got the Boss OD3, I think it is, and that's really cool too, but these were pedals that were new this year. This one was given to me by Rick, who was my music tech teacher, and also now looks after my sire gold top Les Paul. Talking of Les Pauls, the year kind of started in an unexpected way, and David Beebe and myself have been chatting about Les Pauls. I bought, nearby one came up, a 2002 Honeyburst Les Paul with a 60s neck, and I played it for a bit, and I thought maybe I do need a Les Paul. I'd not had one, and I'm now 33, and I thought maybe this is the year. Me and David both kind of thought, well, this could be something worth trying, you know. It's interesting to try gear sometimes that you think you might not get on with, or you think you may get on with, and plus a Les Paul is just a classic instrument. Obviously the guitar that I bought for him, he ended up really liking. I thought that one looked amazing, and then about a week afterwards, maybe even less, this one came up, a 2002 Gibson Les Paul Standard. Nothing particularly fancy, it's just that Gibsons are expensive, aren't they? Turns out that this one doesn't like cold weather too much. The binding is starting to separate here a bit, and some checking has really started to appear. But this has saved me money because I've not spent extra money on a more expensive Les Paul that I might have been tempted to. As it happens, I think this is a really good Les Paul. It's got Monty's underwound paths in there now, and I really like those. Those are closer to a single coil than a traditional kind of humbucker, and kind of get me away from some of that honky thing that I sometimes get with humbuckers. But yeah, this fulfills the role of being a Les Paul to have in the house. I wouldn't say it's my favourite guitar in the house, and I wouldn't say it's even top 5 actually, because most of those would probably be Stratocasters or a big hollow body thing. But, you know, it has been a guitar that I can pick up when I feel like pretending to be a real guitarist, and yeah, really cool. You can totally shred on a Les Paul in a way that I didn't necessarily think, because I thought, you know, this is going to be a real issue, but you can actually get up there, you can do some things, and it's got the shorter scale length, which kind of does work quite well for legato playing, and humbuckers, which most of my guitars I'm used to playing with single coils, so that's kind of a little bit easier to play humbuckers in some ways, I think. Now, I don't have one of the cheaper versions of the Revstars, so they did the standard, they did the professional, and they did the Elements range, right? So this was a professional that Yamaha eventually did send me, I guess sort of as a thank you for pursuing the Helix kind of videos. But the Indonesian ones, I think, stick out to me this year as well, because it's like the Yamaha Indonesian guitars, I think, are made really, really consistently well. And not only that, but it's stainless steel frets on a guitar which is under sort of £700. I think that's notable. I also really like the direction that they took the Revstar in. So a really nice kind of full feeling kind of Les Paul chunky neck. They've now got these kind of Les Paul-esque tuners. Stainless steel frets, which I think is a real triumph. And chambered body, but chambered in quite an interesting way, which makes it considerably lighter than the old Revstar. So this kind of feels like holding a Strat, really, you know, not heavy. The pickups are P90s. I'm not a P90 expert, so I wouldn't say that I'd scream about them or would not recommend them or anything. I don't really have much of an opinion on them. They seem to work. I've gigged this guitar, and yeah, a really great instrument, really consistent. And the stainless steel fretwork is amazing, and I just really like playing it. I should probably play it more. But yeah, bit of resonance from this boy here, metal tailpiece. I've not tried one of the humbucker guitars in anger. This, obviously P90s, really cool instrument, and another thing that they improved, the matte finish on the neck. So really good job by Yamaha on those. And I would recommend going and checking one out. I think it's interesting to have a guitar that's a little bit unconventional in some ways. You know, it's not a Gibson, it's not a Fender. Some things that are a little bit outside of the norm. You know, the inlays, again, making a bit of a bolder choice. The shape, all that sort of stuff. And the colour, I guess. I really liked the old kind of flame tops. that's one thing that I might like to see Yamaha bring back in this new kind of Revstar range. But shout out to the Yamaha for these. I think they did a great job. This is the Japanese one. Really great, lightweight guitar, plays amazingly well, and sounds pretty cool, I think. And I guess we should reserve a section for supplementary strats. You know, you've already got a Strat, you've already got as many strats as you're ever going to need, and you decide, well, actually, this is the year that I want a white Strat. So I asked Chris if he had a white K-Line Springfield. So K-Line are the main kind of brand of Strats that I play. One guy making them over in Missouri. And he said, as it happens, I do have a white one. Send me your money and you can have it. And yeah, this one came back. Jake borrowed it for a while. This one weighs 7 pounds 2 ounces. Really kind of pretty relic finish. And this finish on the back of the neck, which is like, feels really satin. But great playing guitar. Jake really liked it too. Has a super stable trem. In it at the moment are K-Line signature pickups, which are quite bright, quite jangly. But also compared to the Lola Dirty Blondes were quite similar to those as well when I did those back to back. But it's a really resonant guitar, quite a bright kind of voice to it. I think plays lovely, sounds lovely, looks lovely. So yeah, supplementary Strat of the year. In terms of what I've used most, it's got to be the HX Stomp, which I really cannot quit. This is my Forrest Gump. I can't quit you. That's not Forrest Gump, is it? I need to Google that. Anyway, yeah, I've been using this pretty much daily, every day, and I think it's an incredible value for money thing. And again, like the Boss pedals, I was talking more or less about value for money, where you get great tone from pieces of gear that aren't expensive. The HX Stomp, I really like the sound of. It's not for everyone necessarily, but I would recommend them, and I often do. Great little piece of kit, and I use it on the daily, and I'm finding it even more inspiring than ever before with the new cabs. So that's, I think, my year in gear. I also bought that Pro Reverb off of Jake by accident. I sent a Mesa Boogie Mark III to Aberdeen in essentially a condom, and that came back broken, obviously. The gear wise with the amps, it's been the year for getting rid of amps for me. So I'm now down to sort of 4 and a Line 6 Catalyst, which the Catalyst actually maybe should have featured in this video. But yeah, I've let go of some amps that I really, really loved, like the Mesa Boogie Lone Star, but I don't gig amps all the time. I'm a modeling guy. I've let go of some amps that I just bought for the sake of sort of trying to do some demos with. May they rest in peace. And yeah, in general, I think it's been the year for me of trying to be a bit more sensible about gear and trying to maintain a bit more of a healthy relationship where you're able to let go of it if you're not using it. And maybe not just buying things for the sake of them. Like, so for me, pedals this year, I've been pretty good with, you know, just looking at them and thinking, I don't really need that. The gas has seemed to wear off on that. And right now, the gas has really worn off pretty hard on amps because I feel like what I've already got can tackle basically anything. And if not, I'd just use a Model Alive anyway, and then I really can tackle anything. Oh! And Supermassive, Valhalla Supermassive, they updated that, which is awesome because it's free. So that's another part of the year in gear. Let me know your favourite gear that you bought this year. That rhymes. And I'll catch you in another video soon. I'll put a link for this in the thing as well. Lenny, before she drops off the baby outside of her, is going to make a few more of these if there are people that want them, if you want to stay warm in the winter, cost of living and all that. But yeah, they do keep you warm. I'll catch you in another video soon. Gumroad is where you can get all of my presets for Helix and Podgo and Fractal if you want. Cheers for now.